Hey, good morning.
Hey, top of the morning. How we doing?
Yeah, morning came early. Glad my wife woke me up.
Yeah, no, sheesh. You must have stayed up after me last night then.
Uh, I went down and watched TV and stuff like that, and actually fell asleep on the couch last night.
Uh, I fell asleep in my chair out in the living room too, so two peas to a pod.
There you go.
Oh gosh, well, it was fun last night.
Yeah,
Splash here and look forward to this morning. It's going to be fun to see some of this stuff.
yeah.
And
So,
then
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just going to say I folded too, so I bought this de Havilland
The Caribou.
Caribou. I should say, yeah, de Havilland Caribou.
Nice.
But I haven't flown it yet, so this will be interesting.
This will
So
be my first flight. Also, I actually spawned in it on Splasher Stream last night, but I showed up as a seven or an A320, and I'm like, So I flew something else. So this will be my first time also.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect. And by the way, unrelated, but I'm just looking at the iPhone this morning. It says 70% chance of snow today.
No way.
Yeah, and well, and then there's a storm warning for this next week apparently too. So we're not done yet.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I'm tired of this already. Let's let's get back to normal.
I, I'm I'm tired of the ice.
Right. The ice is the worst. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
walking
just
on it to and from the car and everything.
slippery and hard to deal with. All that stuff, but we'll take what we get, I guess.
Yes. Let me see here.
I see Copper Hat's with us this morning.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Morning, Copper Hat, and morning to everyone else. Alec and chat there,
Here we go.
and
There's a view out of the hangar this morning
a second here. Let's
on the stream
see.
there,
Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, perfect.
right? And right now it's probably like 5 inches of snow and a layer of ice and stuff. It's not that bad, but yeah, I didn't do anything with the driveways. I used to put the salt and stuff down in the driveway, but I thought I heard that it can like make your driveway crack or something like that. I'm not sure if that's
Oh
an old wives' tale, so I stopped doing it.
yeah,
Um,
I wouldn't want to chance it.
I do have some cracks in my driveway, but I don't know if it's just age or from when I was doing that. Hey, Copper Hat, good morning. He's in chat. Nice.
Oh good. I forgot to hook my camera up here, so that's the one thing I forgot to do. Get that going.
Yeah, so look out the old hangar window. I guess you could
That's
call it
right.
that.
That's right.
All right, I got
Uh,
a camera. I think I got to get adjusted also. So, oh, that's a nice view.
okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I made the time 8 a.m. That seems like right as sunrise, a little bit, maybe a little bit ahead of sunrise in the sim.
jump off of it.
Oh, and where am I going to see this flight plan in here? Oh, I'm echoing. I got to turn off my mixer here. Oh, and I got to change to that guy.
I tell you that natural sunlight coming through my window, the sun is just rising, and it's actually kind of adding a little bit of like it's the sun from the sim. Kind of cool. I might leave that there for now.
Yeah, it is.
Interesting.
Well, that should, if the sun's shining unabated, it'll heat things up out here. Because it was just anybody watching. I know some places are colder than here, but 18 is cold for us.
Yeah, it's cold.
Oh, and there's no glass panels here, so the flight plan is not going to show on this guy, is it?
And speaking of flight plan, I'll pull it up here.
Oh, maybe down here there's a little. Let's see, what is this?
Looks like we got some terrain at about 5,000 feet or so. No, yeah, 5,500 feet. So 6,000 feet. That's at some point it's going to be a good altitude for us
Okay.
to clear that. Just looking at the terrain mapping down there. What is this down here? Yeah,
So
maybe
Chase.
6,500 or maybe will be
Oh, I know what I forgot. Oh, sorry.
6,500. Go ahead.
No, I know now what I did. I forgot to put this in nav map. That's what I was missing.
Let's zoom out
Uh,
here. Here we
so
go.
we'll have to see. I want to get here and here. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, but terrain looks like we're gonna have to get to at least 6,000 feet.
6,500 at a couple of spots. So just FYI, that's the highest
Okay,
that will be going. And
there we go.
I just want to give folks an idea. I found a website. I'm going to put it in chat. Okay. Found a website that is a air tour um, company. They give airplane tours in New Zealand, and on their website they had, they described some of their different tours, and the one that I was looking at was the Mountain, Island, and Ocean Tour. And so let me bring that up on the stream here. You guys can see it if I can find an overlay. Right there. Okay. So it's called Fly In, as in like a hotel, and it's 11 days that you're on this tour with 19 hours of flying time. So you fly someplace and then you explore it, right? And you fly someplace else and you explore it. And if we scroll down here, you can see the different days are being called out. Okay, so we're on day 1. And I love how they describe this. You'll be met by your personal host and instructor at Queenstown Airport. And guess where we spawned in at today, everybody?
Wow. Yeah. Queenstown.
Yeah. After your briefing, fly to Geordie Hill Station near Wanaka. Now, Geordie Hill Station was not an airport that was like listed in Little Nav Map. Couldn't find it when I was making the flight plan, but I found it on Google Earth, and then I was able to put a waypoint there in the sim, and sure enough, in the sim, it looks like there's a grass field there. So that's cool. So we're gonna be heading to Geordie Hill Station today, okay? Near Wanaka, where you'll be welcomed by Joe and Matt, founders of Fly In. And here we're going to enjoy some great morning coffee and hot scones, and get welcomed to this experience. So today's going to be our introduction to mountain flying, plus familiarization to the Wanaka Airport and region. Weather permitting, we shall also explore further afield to one of the destinations on your itinerary. Toward the end of the day, we'll transfer to Wanaka, where you can enjoy a tour of the town before being shown to our apartment. And this is where we'll be based for this itinerary. And that evening, we'll settle into our surroundings before enjoying a short scenic walk into town for your choice of dining. Stroll home for a good night's rest and readiness for the wonderful flying and scenic adventures coming in the week. Okay, so this is kind of like a day 1. And today's flight plan includes day 1 and I think some of day 2. Okay?
Wow.
So from Wanaka, which is nearby, we'll do a touch and go there. We're going to fly to the world famous Milford Sound, which we've seen before, and via the Teanu, which is a city with an airport that we'll do a touch and go at. Wilmot Pass, which I found and have a waypoint for, and the Milford Track, which I also found and have a waypoint for. Spectacular deep fjords are in these mountains. Rainforests running up into weathered peaks abound. Many high mountain tarns. And a tarn is, anybody in chat know what a tarn is?
No.
It's not like a scone. I'll give chat a second. And I'm going to top off my coffee here, Tree.
Oh, top of the morning.
Almost with you. I'm going to top it off. And there we go. Cheers, Tree.
Oh, got right here. Yep.
Cheers.
Got you covered. Cheers.
Chat doesn't know what a tarn is. A tarn is like one of those small mountain lakes that we see. Those little lakes tucked up way and high in the peaks of the mountains.
Oh, wow.
So high mountain tarns and lakes, which feed waterfalls, they fall vertically hundreds of feet into the fjords below. And we saw Sutherland Falls when we were up here, a couple weeks ago. So that's That's one of the areas that they're describing, and our flight plan actually takes us by Lake Quill. So that'll be cool. We'll land at Milford Sound, but today we're gonna fly by Milford Sound and check out this other destination. No, wait. No, I think I have it where we do a touch and go at Milford Sound. I can't remember. Yeah, I think we do a touch and go at Milford Sound, where we could take a walk and view Bowen Falls, the magnificent atmosphere of Milford Sound, and then we're going to fly to Big Bay and land on the vast beach. Depends on the tide, though. And have lunch at Milford or enjoy Elsie's date loaf at Big Bay Beach. So yeah, we can come back to Milford for lunch if the tides are up and we can't land. Then we'll have to come back to Milford for lunch. But if the tide is cooperating, we'll be able to land on the beach and have lunch at Elsie's and have her try out her date loaf. And then that's just day 2. But look, there's day 3, 4, all the way up to day 11. So if we're up for it, maybe we can use this as a guide for the next few Saturday mornings.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, that sounds like a blast, and we get to see all this updated scenery. So, yeah, that's what fun.
Cool.
And then I see Copperhead is with us this morning.
Oh, yeah, right in front of us there. Cool.
So we have Copperhead, which we always welcome in and enjoy flying with Copperhead. I got to say, in most cases, he's a better pilot than I am, at least on some of those challenges we've done over our course of flying. So, yeah. Anyways,
any relation, Copperhead? Is there any relation there? Just out of curiosity. Okay, parking brake is off.
Looks like he took off, so I don't know. We'll see if he stays with us.
All right, let me look at little nav app again. So we're gonna have looks like just about a straight out departure. We'll be on a heading of 3-5 for about 38 nautical miles as we head on up to Geordie Hill Station, and then we'll do a full stop at Geordie Hill Station so we can get some coffee. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
All right, we'll see. Take off. I did read the briefing on this.
Yeah.
So flaps, I guess flaps. I'm gonna use. Well, I got lots of runway, so I'm gonna use flaps 2 here. See how this works.
All right. Rolling. Getting power. And here we go. Pardon me, excuse me.
Yeah. Oh, somebody coming in there.
Oh, wow.
Right in front of you. This is a busy airport.
Right?
Okay, throttling up. Looks like 100-ish is V1 and rotate. Okay. Where do I see that? Oh, there we have it. Okay.
V-top's rolling.
Yeah, I didn't set my trim right, so she's lifting off by her. No, that was trim at 0.
This is a STOL capable aircraft.
Wow.
Even though it's this big, it is a getting in and out of tight spots. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how she does.
Yeah.
Here's Queenstown behind us.
Ooh, boy, you take the flaps off, that nose drops like the rock. Gotta trim that out. And Queenstown behind us. Oh, gear up. Try that. There we go.
Yeah, we got some climbing to do. We got some mountains in front of us.
we do. Yep, look at that.
Copper Hat is at the end of the threshold, it looks like.
Okay.
G cap. Looks like it's in front of him. Maybe we can do a circuit here while Copper Hat gets off the ground here. So let's do
All right.
a left circuit.
Okay.
Good morning, Paradox. Welcome to New Zealand.
Morning, Paradox.
New plane, yes. It's the DHC, is it 12? Caribou. The de Havilland Caribou. Can't remember if it's the 12 or if I'm confusing World Update 12. Yeah, it's the local legend that came out with the World Update. And I think it was $15 if I remember right.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Copper Hat's in the air, I believe.
Okay.
See him there. So I'm just doing a 360 here. Boy, this is if the rest of the scenery looks anything like Queenstown.
Isn't this something?
It's just amazing scenery.
Here you are in front of me up there.
Finally, I think I told you last week.
DHC-4. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Paradox was saying that in my title it mentions DHC-4. And I forgot I put that in the title, so yeah, I was confusing World Update 12. This is the de Havilland Canada 4, the Caribou. It kind of reminds me of the Wilga in the sense that its design is kind of utilitarian, and which I really like that type of design.
Yeah, I do too.
There's some motorcycles, that are like enduros that are kind of like that utilitarian design where you can go off-road and they're kind of outfitted for handling just about anything.
Yeah, you're right.
Larry's not going to be able to make it at the moment due to adult to kid ratio change about to occur.
Oh, darn.
Been there, done that. I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's okay, Larry. You're with us in spirit.
All right, we're gonna head out on about 3.5.
Wonder if the autopilot works on this. We'll see. See if what happens here.
Kind of dark in the cockpit here. Wonder if there's a light that I can turn on.
Sure, it has an autopilot.
Oh, landing lights off. Taxi lights off. Everything else is on. Is there a dome light? Right there. Cool. That helps a little bit. Well, she held her course while I was up there looking around. It's 1 to 5, and would be 0 to 5 if you flew. Well, yeah. 4. I got you. All right, on our way to Geordie Hill Station. What a cool name.
Yeah, it is. No, autopilot's not working. It's alright. Can trim it out.
Oh, Paradox is going to pick up the plane. Here's a look around the interior here.
Let's see, what did Larry say? Oh, it's 1 to 5. Oh, gotcha.
I like the windows. You can look up and see above you over there. Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh, that is cool. I didn't even notice that. I'll have to later sometime today when I get time, I'll have to try this in the VR headset and see
Yeah, it looks like it
what it
might be
looks
a good
like.
VR experience. Um, we've got an exit release right above our heads too. That window above our heads is the exit release.
Oh yeah.
Oh, getting
Yep.
off course here.
Yeah, looks like they did a nice job with this guy. Oh, now I'm at 7,000. I don't getting a little bit higher than I want to
Yeah.
be. Trim that out a little bit better. There we go.
There you go. Gotta get the sun right. Paradox is mentioning to take a look at the panels on the outside of the plane and the imperfections and stuff. And with the sun just right, you can kind of see those imperfections on the top of the plane here. And it's like that all over.
Yeah, that's cool. Love the detail.
Okay, I gotta go to the right a little bit here.
I was saying earlier, I finally figured out how to manage my second screen here. So nav map just takes up like half the screen, and then Twitch later underneath it, so I can still keep track of chat and still
Oh, good.
stay on course here. It's kind of cool.
Oh, that's a cool view. There's Copperhead. Good Copperhead. There's somebody flying with him. I can't tell who it is though. Name tag's kind of covered up. Oh, that's a cool view. I like that one. There we are.
Oh yeah, that is. Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
And then, I wonder if I can go into the back of the plane here. Will it let me? Oh, check it out back here, guys.
Oh wow, look at that. Wow.
Is that an oven? No, it's a book. Got some seating there. Some more seating back there. Looks like we're hauling some. There's some panels back there.
Yeah.
I wonder if the ramp works. We'll have to check that out. And then, looking out the window here. I'm kind of curious what the view would be like from the window. Kind of hard to see out these windows. Yeah, we're just chilling back here.
Yeah, that's cool.
And what's funny is I'm using the seat moving keys. So it's not on autopilot or anything. I'm still the pilot in command, but my view is back here. I need to get back up there.
Yeah, that is cool.
There we go. Yeah, I'm way off course. My bust. Yeah, we're still heading to Geordie Hill Station. Nobody in the driver's seat. That's right. So if you're following me, I'm making a pretty big course change here.
He wants to bank a little bit to the left. I have to work on a little bit aileron trim.
It's funny, I got the sun in front of me in the sim, and the sun is in front of me here. in real life. Funny. I have to lift up the curtains though. I'm actually kind of having fun with it. Here, that's better. Let's see. As long as my green screen works. It's kind of getting messed up over there. Whoops, getting off course again. Yeah, she does want to kind of go to the left a little bit.
That's ironic, Flux. As we do this, I've got all those extra monitors that are sitting here in my closet. I just got nowhere to put them.
Oh wow.
I could have another screen going.
Yeah, you could, right?
Nowhere that I want to put them. Let's put it that way. And I managed okay with 2. Who would have ever said that 10 years ago?
Right?
Amazing. We've come a long way with technology.
And then when you have neighbors that have technology that they're willing to share, that's awesome.
Yes, we share back and forth. It makes it fun. Well, it trims out pretty good. I got a -4 and it seems to be pretty straight and level.
I'm kind of tripping a little bit because, you know, every once in a while I'll catch a glare of the sun from the sim, sort of, you know. But I've also got the glare of the real sun off right out the window here, and it's like, it's you know.
Yeah, you're right. The way your office faces. Yeah, you catch sunrise.
Yeah.
Well, that is weird. Yeah, you're right.
So I got these like cool shadows and stuff kind of going on that are like could be coming from the cockpit of the airplane I'm in. Kind of fun. Take a look around here. Yeah, see, there's the sun right off my nose there. MDC 1123 took off with us, I believe, in the F-22.
Oh, cool.
So if you're watching the stream, welcome to the hangar there, MDC. Isn't that in the old movie Tron? And it might be in the newer version too. Wasn't the big bad guy the MDC? Master Data Control or something like that? Anybody remembers that?
I don't remember.
Yeah, if anybody remembers that movie Tron, you know what I'm talking about, let me know.
I remember that when that movie came out, that was pretty big time. I wonder if they have that in VR now.
Oh yeah, riding those cycles, those light cycles.
That would be something else.
MPC, that's it. Dan 10, thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's MPC, I think you're right. Alright, we need to think about losing some altitude here. We're getting close to the Geordie Hill Station. Oh, I gotta fix my window now. That was fun while it lasted. There we go. Okay, so Geordie Hill Station. Oh, I wish I could tell you the altitude. It's not a real airport, so I can't tell you guys the altitude. But we're getting close. I think the runway runs east and west, if I remember right. It's a grass strip.
Okay.
And I'm starting to get a little nervous.
And I gotta get. Now we're over here. Oh, I see. It's down there in that valley. I'm gonna lose some air altitude and airspeed. Oh yeah, keep climbing here. Not gonna work.
Okay, mixture's full forward. Props are good. Brakes are off. And how we doing on airspeed here? I don't even know where the gauges are.
Airspeed is upper left corner. Oh, I'm right over the top. I'll have to do a circuit. Too much altitude. That got there quicker than I thought.
I don't see the airspeed, guys.
Airspeed?
Yeah.
It's upper left corner. On the panel.
Yeah.
It has a roller. It has a horizontal rolling wheel, and then it has.
Oh,
Let's
well.
see. Let me see what you're looking at there. Right. Go back to the panel again. That one. It's on your. So the far left.
Right here?
Go one to the right and up one.
This one?
Nope. One now up one. That right there. That's airspeed.
Oh, it doesn't have
One
the flap
one is
indicators.
100. Well, that might be somewhere else, I guess. Okay.
Okay. I think it's over here on the left here. The station. I have to find that. Gears coming down.
I don't see the runway just yet.
It doesn't show up very well in the sim.
Boy, the scenery does look, even out here, just seems like it's way more detailed.
There it is.
You see the runway?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming back your way now.
Here we go. I don't think I've ever done that before, switching to external view as I'm coming in. Landing like that. Okay, flaps coming up. Welcome to Geordie Hill Station. This will be a full stop.
Okay.
And let me get back inside here.
Hey, right, the nice thing is, you're not flying that fast and she slows down pretty quick. Give her
Copper
notch
hatch
of
coming in.
flaps.
Drone camera.
Ooh, man. Boy, you put those flaps down and she slows. It's like a huge brake.
Oh, nice approach. Copper hat. In the Twin Otter. Nice choice. Oh, maybe... Did I miss the runway? I thought it was a kind of a grass strip area.
Well, we're going where you're going.
Okay.
I see traffic down there on that highway.
It does look like it's kind of excavated for a runway. We'll look at it here in Google Earth in a minute. Who else do we got coming in? You got Treetop coming in? Yep, Treetop set up for approach here.
Still way too high. But the good news is she doesn't fly that fast. So it's slow down.
He does, right?
Yeah, my trim's way out of whack, but that's all right. I should be able to put her down here.
Wow.
Don't know if this thing has reverse pitch or not, but don't need it here.
That looks good. I like your livery. Nice job. You were coming in at a high angle and I thought you were going to be coming in a little hot, but you actually landed it gracefully. It was like a nice graceful landing. Kind of reminded me of the spruce goose, the way it flies.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it does. I think I was losing about 1,800 there feet per minute, so that was a bit steep on the short final, but yeah, it slows right down. When you hit flaps all the way, I mean, you got to actually add some throttle back just to keep it flying. Yeah, it's a nice bird.
Let me pull up Google Earth here, and we'll pay a visit, and we'll see if we can't find our the station where we're gonna have coffee. Let's see. So right now, Joe and Matt, the founders of Flying, would be coming out here to greet us, where we'll have some coffee and scones. Okay. Let me see if I can find us here. I think I bookmarked it. But I did. Did I not bookmark it? Oh, bummer. Swore I bookmarked it in here. I guess I didn't. Let's see here. Where did we take off from? Lindy's Pass, I think, is where we're near. And yeah, there's Queenstown. There's Lindy's Pass. There's Wakana. That's where we're going to be going next, I think. Here's Lindy's Pass. And then being in this area. Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it. Dang it. There's those. I remember that mountain range there. I remember it being near Lindy's Pass. This little field area. No, that's not it. Nope, not going to find it. Not going to find it. Bummer. Okay. Bummer. Let's see. Other's good. So I believe they would come down here and pick us up, and I'm thinking that where we would go have coffee, where the station is, I'm thinking is right up here. This is where they would bring us up to, and we would probably have some morning coffee, maybe in this little cabin thing, like look in the area and look at the view that we would have, looking down over the valley there a little bit while we're sipping on our morning coffee. Speaking of which, let's try some of this Iceland coffee. Mmm. That hits the spot. Let's go. Dan 10, how's the Caribou? She reminds me a little bit of the spruce goose, the way she handles, kind of slow and graceful like. But she's stall capable, and so far the first impressions are good. The exterior, the paneling, the detail that they have with like the bumps and the grooves and the paneling, really looks good. And yeah, you just saw us do this kind of short field landing, and she handles very nicely, right, Tree?
Yeah, she did. Very, very nicely. So I came in, as we talked about, I came in on too steep of an approach, but didn't seem to be a problem with this guy with flaps down, or like a huge break.
All right, we're gonna be heading out. It's just about about 12 nautical miles on a heading of 238. As we depart, we're gonna be heading over to Wakana. Yep, Wakana. We'll do a touch and go there, and then we're gonna head southwest. Okay, let's do this. Let's check fuel while we're here.
Oh yeah, Copperhead, I'm seeing your livery out my window here since I'm right to the side of you. That's a cool livery.
Ooh, my my CG is out of limit. Maybe I have too much fuel. Bring that down a little bit. Yeah, this
Well,
isn't.
this is,
Wow, that forward and aft limit
oh,
on the
oh,
CG
oh, no.
is really
Oh, that
tight.
is cool.
I need to I guess to bring my fuel down.
And I can, this is interesting taxiing. Of course, I can feel the bumpy since we're on grass, but also with the butt kicker here, should clarify that. You can feel the brakes when you hit the brakes and take them on and off. Kind of cool.
Oh, nice. Okay, what's going on here? Yeah, I'm gonna bring my fuel all the way down. I don't have any room on my center of gravity slider. Okay, so I need fuel. Like 80%. How do I get my center of gravity back?
Well, the slider doesn't.
Not doing anything. Get it all the way over here and see what
Hmm.
happens.
See here.
Usually
There we go.
that'll move this your center of gravity. It's like, you're adjusting your cargo, but it's not
Right.
working.
See what I got going.
Okay, cabin 1, I'm gonna take off these goes off and see what happens.
Yeah, maybe that was my issue here.
Still out of range. I don't have a co-pilot. Take that off. Why can't I get that in range? Dan 10 says he notices he has problems with the slider in the 337. Oh, interesting. As soon as I move the slider, all the stock stuff comes back again.
Huh.
Interesting.
Well, I'm just doing a pilot co-pilot. I emptied the weight out of the cabins.
I got a little bit closer.
Payload is 20. Did you look at payload?
Not yet.
What do you got for payload? I got just under 24%.
Reload.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Yeah, when you do that slider, it changes.
Empty weight 19,000. Max weight for takeoff 24. So 28,000.
Now, the payload is going to affect all of them.
Interesting. Thousand. And I'm still not able to get that slider to go. A little closer. I guess that's the best I can do. Interesting. I'm gonna hit reset, see what it does. Ooh. Reset. Reset kind of put the center of gravity back.
Oh, really?
Now I've got all my payload and everything, but if I add fuel, yeah, that payload moves. Okay, I'm gonna put it right there in the center. There we go. So down on the bottom left, there's a reset button. I hit reset, and that center of gravity thing moved, and then I was able to put my fuel to 73%, and I'm still within tolerance, so hopefully that's good. Now, I'm curious, Dan 10, if that would work on the 337, hitting that reset, and then playing with the fuel and watching that limiter. Okay, so that's good. All right. Flaps down 2 notches. Mixture is forward, prop is forward, brake is off, and let's see. Shorty Hill traffic, Twin de Havilland, 6318 Romeo, departing. Oh, I'm not sure what runway this is. Straight out to the southwest, Shorty Hill. Here we go.
Gotta be like runway 22 or something. Neighborhood. Hey, Copperhead, after you. You're ready to go.
Here's coming up. We should have had the lights on. Take them off. Copperhead's on a roll.
Trim doing.
She climbs, doesn't she, Copperhead? Oh, that's the Twin Otter. I was thinking it was this thing for a minute.
Here I go.
See you rolling down there.
Yep. You saw the speedometer.
Yeah, I think I saw it, but
Air indicator.
there's no flap indicators and stuff.
Oh, wait. I think I see him. Oh, yeah, it's right to the left of it.
Okay, let me look.
Look, go right to the left. There's a vertical little panel right to the left. It
Over there,
shows
yeah.
your flaps. It shows your flaps. Because I just adjusted my flaps. Yep, that's it.
Ooh. Okay, now I gotta look at that airspeed again. Get stabilized here. Okay, touch and go over at Wanaka. Not very far away.
I wonder if there's prop pitch. See, throttle, yeah, prop. Looks like I got it all the way forward. Prop RPM or whatever you want to call that. Let's see. I'll make sure, okay. Prop decrease. Oh, yep, that's all the way forward. Yep, propeller, all the way forward.
I like the old school horizon indicator that's down on here.
Oh, yeah. I do like that too.
And it reminds me, if I remember correctly, remember how we were talking about Buddy Holly the other day?
Yes.
I think I read that a potential contributing factor in that crash, because he took off in the snow. It was ILS, IFR conditions, and I don't think the pilot was like very well rated on that plane, if rated at all. I can't remember.
He wasn't. He only had 40 hours of IFR total in his, and yeah, and not acclimated. Not too many hours in that plane. To your point. Sorry to interrupt.
It's okay. No, perfect. Please do. I interrupt you all the time, so now I know what it feels like. No, I'm kidding. But no, please do interrupt anytime. I think I read that that model of plane had an update or change in the way that the horizon indicator was made, and it's like right now we have white on the top and black on the bottom. It was flipped. It was reversed. It was black on the top and white on the bottom. And so if you're in IFR conditions and you're used to white being on the top and you're losing control of the aircraft, that's not good. I don't know if anybody in chat can check me on that, but I thought I remember something about that. All right, let's get configured for landing here.
I thought I remembered something about It was. That was a factor, and it was that plane was manufactured that way, or maybe, yeah, or maybe the artificial horizon was replaced and with one of those. And very few manufacturers have artificial horizons upside down as we would look at it. But yeah, that would have been a contributing factor for sure. Let's see.
Oh, is that the airport? I'm way high. All right, I'm gonna do a.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's no wind. Wind is not a factor. And we need to be heading to the south west as we depart. So I'm gonna do from where I'm at right now. I'm gonna do a left downwind and come in on what is that?
2-9.
1-1.
Oh, you're coming in on 1-1. Okay.
And there's a grass
Left
strip.
downwind. Okay.
There's 1-1 and 1-1 right. 1-1 is a grass strip. I'm gonna land on the grass strip.
Got it.
The grass strip as we're coming in on 1-1 is gonna be on the left side.
Oh, I remember this river from last night. This would be a fun one to follow. Yeah. Okay, left downwind for 1-1.
Yeah, there's the grass. There's the grass strip right there. Nice.
I'm a bit high too.
Dantan's gonna check that slider on the 337 to see if that helps. Cool. I'm gonna do an extended downwind a little bit so I can make sure I'm lined up here.
Yeah.
I like these farming crop circles. They have kind of like a texture and different colors and stuff to them. You can see one off my nose here on the left.
Yeah, it is. Boy, they've just done their homework with this. And I'm not noticing any frame rate problem with the extra detail too, which is
nice.
great. It's nice that they add this extra detail that we get to enjoy without taking a performance hit. And we're just doing a touch and go here.
Yes.
The airport altitude. What is the airport altitude?
The airport should be behind me there. Copperhead's coming in. Monaca traffic, Wind de Havilland 6318 Romeo on left base for touch and go. What did I say? Airport was 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1.
Monaca.
And I'm right above you here. I'm going to extend my downwind before I hit base so I don't crowd you.
Here's the airport. Copperhead's lined up already. Yeah, Monaca traffic, de Havilland Twin 6318 Romeo on final for touch and go 1-1 Monaca. In the grass.
In the grass.
There's tree. Landing lights coming on. Yep.
Gear down. Oh, I like that lever above there. You put the gear down. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that flap indicator on the left side of the airspeed indicator. Yeah, you can see everything right there.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, huh?
Yeah. It's deceiving though. This big of aircraft, you want to think it's flying faster than it really is, and it's not.
Yeah, I was having the same problem.
Like I'm barely doing 100 here.
Gears down, right? Yeah.
It looked like.
All right, here we go.
Wow.
Power on. Oh man, just cleared it. Copperhead's full stop. Gear up. This tree.
Go. Flaps up to 2 notches and floorboarded.
Good luck. You're in that
Yeah, I need
threshold.
to clear those trees. Oh, we got it.
Nice. Yeah, I see your
Positive
altitude
rate.
climbing.
You're up.
Nice.
Yep.
Landing lights coming off.
And flaps up. Well, it drops the nose. I'll trim that out.
All right, let's get on our heading.
Gonna be a right turn.
Ooh, I'm glad I changed the camera view. Took a look in front of me. Laps up. Done that already. Gears up. Yes, yes.
You know that when you fly a turboprop in real life and you get the kind of that grinding noise of the vibration, harmonic balance for lack of a better term.
Yeah, yeah.
And I can feel that in my chair here when you have depending on RPM. So she's just grinding along here.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's tree. Copperhead's in the air. Nice.
And I'm positive 1,000 feet per minute. I just love looking at the terrain. It's just really nicely detailed.
Yeah, the farming fields and the crop circles and stuff. That's not the only one that I've seen like that. They're really cool looking.
Well, they sure
are. We might see Forder's group. So we're on the South Island here in New Zealand, and I noticed as I was spawning in, it looked like that Forder's group was on the North Island.
Oh.
Up there. So I don't know if our paths will cross this morning over New Zealand, but we'll see.
It'd be fun. It did.
Oh, look at those hills. Cool. There's a dirt road going up there to the top. Nice. Anybody in chat been to New Zealand in real life? Last night when we were on Splasher Stream, Raleigh Mall was on there, and he mentioned that he'd been to New Zealand. And then I remember a story that he told from like a year ago or so where he was describing being in New Zealand. He was actually working fishing. He worked on a fishing boat, and was fishing on the waters around New Zealand. They would come up there from Australia, I guess, and yeah, he was doing fishing and stuff.
Wow.
Hey, Splasher. Speaking of Splasher's stream, good morning.
Good morning, Splasher. Happy Saturday.
Right? Give a shout out to Splasher. I don't think my shout out preview videos are working. I forgot to fix that. But yeah, click on that link and give him a follow. He'll be streaming 12 Central, I think he said.
Oh, wait a minute.
I think that's like 1 p.m. Pacific,
Oh, yeah, this way.
if I remember right, something like that. Good afternoon. Oh, Splasher heard us talking about the Buddy Holly, and we're talking about that horizon indicator and how that might have been a factor. And I'm not sure if my memory is right. And Splasher put in a link to the Splasher, or to the, hopefully not the Splasher story, the Buddy Holly story.
Yeah. Oh,
So
cool.
good. Thanks for that, Splasher. Yeah, we're checking out the Caribou.
And then one other piece that just comes to mind, excuse me, the Buddy Holly story. And the reason they took that flight was kind of a last minute. They had a tour bus that they were using, and it broke down a couple of times. And I think one or more of the party was a bit frustrated, like, we just want to get there. So that's where they hired the flight service to take them. Had they stayed on the bus, that wouldn't have never happened.
Oh, wow. And Splasher says that I'm correct about the horizon indicator. Oh, good. I thought I was remembering that right. Nice. All right, we're trimmed up. We're level here a little bit. I'm going to grab some coffee.
And what do I need? I got dry 0 here. What does 0 trim do?
So our flight plan takes us back over the top of Queenstown. So we'll be able to see it from the air. And we're going to be heading on down to Te Anau, or NZTZ, is our next destination.
Cool.
And again, I want to share a link to this website that I found. Let me grab that. The business is called Fly In. They do aerial tours of New Zealand, and I'm modeling today's flight plan after the description of one of their adventures. And there's a link to it for you guys to check out. It's pretty cool. Larry, you see what Larry wrote there, Tree?
Oh. Yes, I did, Larry. Oh, telling you. You know, we're all the same peas in a pod. There's all kinds of trinkets out there to buy with Amazon and everything else. And what do we buy?
Right?
No one outside of our group would understand. But yeah, we show us a new aircraft and we fold.
Right? Hook, line, and sinker.
Hook, line, and sinker. Boy, the cockpit view, just looking around here, I can see you right above me there. It's kind of cool having that glass panel above.
Oh, nice. You below me?
And especially that's handy when you're doing a turn. Instead of having a whole area blocked, if you're banking, you've got a better view. Yeah, you see that? I'm right below you.
I'm gonna get the stream to where we can see you down there. There you are. Yeah, I like the window setup on this plane.
That is cool.
And earlier we took a tour of the back. Let me see if I can get in there from the drone camera. There we go. We'll look at the back. We have some sleeping bunks there. We got a cart that I think we're some food and whatnot. And it looks like the pilot operating handbook is in a notebook on there.
Wow, we got galley service on this thing.
Yeah. Oops.
Nothing's come to the cockpit yet, but
yeah, nice detail in here.
yeah. Yeah, I agree, Larius. And
Chunky.
morning, Chunky.
Hey, Chunky.
And for $15, you got a lot of detail here. Pretty good buy.
Oh, Chunky. I didn't try it yet. Thank you for reminding me, because I wanted to tell Treetop about it, and I want to tell Gruninsky about it, because Gruninsky created that cherry field, and I want to go back up to that cherry field and try the sprayer, and I totally spaced it. Chunky, thank you.
Oh yeah, we do have to try that.
Chunky found I think it's the Cabrillo helicopter. It's that comes from Asobo. But there's another version of the helicopter with a sprayer on it, and the mist and everything comes out as you're spraying. And yeah, I'd love to revisit that cherry tree farm that Gruninsky put in the sim there in Washington.
You know what? We should do that for, maybe you and I could do a little homework on that and maybe do that for Wednesday.
Yeah, we can come up with a flight plan that'll take us like an hour or so to get to the destination that we need to spray, and then we can see if we can set it up where you're spraying part of the field while I'm spraying part of the field, and everybody else is we make many hands makes light work, right?
Yes. Well, I think we should do that. So that sprayer version is probably in Flight Sim TO.
I think so.
I would guess. So yeah, we'll have to do that.
Ooh, good call out, Chunky.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder.
He says make sure to add weight to the tanks, otherwise it doesn't spray. So good call out.
Oh, gotcha. And what activates the sprayer? Do we know that? There's probably a switch in the cockpit somewhere you can map.
While he's answering, the parking brake does it. Nice. So you're up in the air, just activate the parking brake.
Oh, sweet. I've already got that mapped. Oh, perfect.
All right, welcome back to... Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna, if I get time, I'll download that today and play with it a little bit.
Yeah, I'll put the link in our Discord too. Maybe under our announcements and kind of announce. Maybe that's what we can do Wednesday night.
Perfect.
Chunky, would you be able to make it Wednesday night if we do it Wednesday night? You and Mish? All right, we're flying over Lake Wakatapu. Wakatapu. I think I'm saying that right. There's Queenstown Gardens off my nose there. And it looks like there's a ship as a point of interest docked. Oh man, that's so hard to do. Yeah, there's a ship that they modeled in the sim as a point of interest there on that harbor.
Oh, I'll have to take a look at that.
The TSS, what was it? Ernslaw. That's a nice community along the mountains and the lake right there, and here in Queenstown.
Yeah. Yeah.
It almost looks like, if I can get it in there, right here, it looks like, it almost looks like a peace symbol. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Like somebody made a big peace symbol on the ground. Could be a quinky dink. Yeah, when we went to discover some of the Mission Impossible Fallout filming locations, I think we took off from Queenstown, if I remember right, and followed this river and went up around the bend up there. I think it think it was this place. Okay, it depends on work. Roger that. Yeah, now I'm looking forward to trying that. I think we gotta climb a little
Yeah.
red tree.
Yeah, it will be fun. Okay. Yeah, I look forward to it too.
So our next destination on this aerial tour is Te Anu, the city, little town. Before we start going into the mountains and the fjords and stuff. And what we're seeing is what folks would be seeing on that fly-in aerial tour that folks can take. Well, I don't know. It's my best guess based on reading the description of the aerial tour and the places that they visit. Kind of modeled a flight plan after that, so I think it'd be something like this. Just cruising along. Did I miss anything in chat? Because I think I asked if anybody had been here before. And I can't remember if I missed it or not. One cool view from the Caribou is out the back hatch. I gotta figure out how to do that. How to get back there. There's supposed to be a way you can like maneuver around inside the cockpit. I can't remember how to do that. Okay. So nobody said if they had visited it. Here. Larry says he loves a sim airplane with good visibility, and this is definitely one of those. Nice. Alright, so if I go back in the cockpit. Oh, wasn't there a way for me to... There was a key combination where I could move around. I mean, I can move sideways, do this, and I turn sideways, then use the sideways button to go back. But it seems like there was a different way of doing that. Looking out the back hatch. Let's get back there. Oh, wait a minute. Do I need to open the back hatch? I should be able to open the back hatch, right? Alright, we're going to open the back hatch. We're going to open the back hatch. Yeah, let's open the back hatch. Okay, I gotta... Whoops. Gotta get back on course. We're gonna figure out how to open the back hatch. If anybody's looking around and they know where the lever is, let me know. I'm gonna see if I can set altitude hold and heading. I'm not sure where the controls are, so I'm gonna cheat. Use the heading bug here. Something like that. And Heading. Hold. Autopilot doesn't seem to be responding. Yeah, Bravo's not responding. I'm not sure how to do it. I didn't study this plane at all. Not that I study planes, right?
Yeah, me neither. I was just looking at local weather here. So it looks like we get snow starting at 10 p.m. tonight. And
wow.
snowing all night to finish by 7 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, another blanket.
Oh my God, tree.
I'm telling you, we're in for it. No Traeger, no outside barbecue.
Right?
This is indoor activity only.
All right. We are looking for the cargo door release. Landing gear,
Uh,
flaps. Gonna be anti-ice.
what's that? Oh, the flap indicator's above us too. It's right in that console, right above you. So if you hit flaps, it shows it's a mechanical. Interesting.
Right up here.
It's above you. Yeah,
There it
right
is,
there,
right here.
right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. So if you hit flaps, just hit flaps 1, and you'll see that whole lever move.
Oh, I'm at speed though.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do it. Oh yeah, see, there it goes. Nice.
And it just slides right up.
Yep. Ooh, we're getting into some weather. Yeah, I'm looking for that cargo door. This is all... Where
I'm
would that
looking
cargo door be?
There's the trim wheel. Okay, gotcha. There it is. Oh, that is cool.
Feather. Larry, do you know where the cargo door is? Tool selector. Man, there's a lot going on here. Inoperative, engine start, batteries, oil, primer. Hey, Linux, thanks for the follow. We are trying to find the cargo door switch or lever. Am I climbing? Okay, 0. I'm flying level. Oh, there's VOR. Select VOR. Cool. Nav mode, GPS mode. Cool. All right, this is gonna be fun to explore. This will be a fun one to learn.
Where do you see that? Let's see.
It's behind the yoke. I made the yoke disappear, and I'm
Gotcha.
seeing some indicator lights for nav and GPS and VOR. Ooh. So we can do some navigation with VORs. That would be fun.
Okay, I'm looking to see where I hide the yoke here.
Bottom left. Got to kind of follow the yoke down.
Oh, there we go. Yoke visibility. Oh, I see. Okay.
Oxygen mask.
Yeah, but no autopilot. It looks like.
Well, I think there's also something here.
Be.
There's something here. If you look at my stream, there's a little GPS thing. There might be an autopilot opportunity in there too. There's a direct to, and we should be able to plan a flight with that, but I'm not sure.
It's
Gotta
a
use that
It's a,
one.
a small Garmin.
Yeah. Well, I cannot find anything to do with the cargo door.
Huh.
Nothing.
Master start battery oil.
Nothing up there. Oh, that's kind of a cool view. You see the prop spinning. Wouldn't be back here over my shoulder.
Yikes.
We were flying over the new world update for New Zealand. We're staring at this old cockpit.
I got way off course.
Cargo, cabin lighting. Cargo doors master. I found it. It's over my right shoulder. Cargo doors.
Oh.
Here we
Oh,
go.
okay, cool.
Boom. Nothing's happening. And I'm getting off course too. Sort of. Okay, come on. Let's figure this out. Switch cover. Ramp 15-degree limit override. Push to test. Switch cover. Switch cover. Ramp open close. There we go. Open. Alright, now we should be seeing something. Yeah, I hear it. Oh my god. Back there. I'm the worst at navigating inside the plane. I'm sorry, guys. There it is. Oh my god. Larry, you're right. Larry, you're absolutely right.
Look at that. Wow.
Let's take a look at that view. I gotta go sideways. I don't know how to I don't know how to use the... I don't think I can use the controller to move around in here, can I? Nope. Halo jump. Oh my god. Larry. Larry. Nice.
Dang.
Huh? OMG. And a ramp extends down there too. We're not extending the ramp though. Saw it on YouTube into the blue, something like that. Wow.
Oh man, there's rudder trim up here too. Now this is cool. Now that is cool.
Larry, thanks for mentioning that, man. I'm glad we figured that out. Glad we found that. It was fun trying to find it. There's a ramp. Cargo door. Let's close it. It's not closing. Hang on. Here we go. No? Oh, that's the ramp. Hang on. Door master. Okay, we opened it, but now we can't close it. Getting cold in here.
Yeah, drafty.
Cargo door open close. Close. What am I doing wrong? Cabin lighting. Doors master. On. There it goes. I turned the master off. I turned off power to it. Yeah, you don't want people accidentally being able to open and control the door back there. So you have a master switch in the front where you can turn power on and off.
That makes sense.
Alright, we need to start dropping for altitude here. Nice. Nice, Larry. Thank you. We can set custom controls for each aircraft. Yes, you can. Yep. You can bind if there's a control in there, I'm guessing if we go into the controls for this aircraft, there'll be a cargo door option that you could bind to a button on your Bravo or Alpha or keyboard. What if you could drop stuff out the back and do airdrops? I mean, how long until we get something like that? Right? I mean, you have particle smoke that goes out, behind the plane. Why not, little, like parachute drop things that are like pre-recorded and then they land. You can have campsites with parallel 42's thing, and then you can, share those campsites with people, and then they appear for 2 weeks. Why not have a package that drops and just sits there for 2 weeks and then it disappears? All right, we are way high. So welcome
I'm
to
losing altitude.
Te Anu, KZTZ. You can see in the top of the header of the stream up there. It's the closest airport. If anybody wants to spawn in, and looks like 3-4 would be a good arrival. At least the winds that we got up here, only like 5 knots, so it's not too bad. So I'm gonna do a midfield approach. I'm gonna approach over the center of the field and go into a left downwind for 3-4.
Okay. Is that a full stop?
Touch and go.
Touch and go. Okay.
And our course actually takes us on a kind of a 45-degree intercept for the midfield.
Yeah, it does.
And it's a 784-foot runway.
Oh, that's not very...
No, the altitude.
Oh, altitude. Oh, yeah.
She's 2,500 feet long.
Oh, yeah, altitude 784. Okay.
Paradox is going to set a button for that door. Nice. Oh, good. We got started descending just in time. Nice. Right, I'll level off here.
I adjusted my rudder trim just to tweak it a little bit so she has a tendency to roll to the left. I know aileron trim would be better, but I saw rudder trim up there, so I just adjust a little bit to the right, and it seems to level it out.
Oh, good.
Although I might have gone a little bit too far to the right. Now she wants to bank to the right. I'll have to adjust that. Let's see. Let's bring it back a little bit.
Gears coming down. Landing lights coming on.
Okay.
Got a notch of flaps in. We got a grass field here. So now traffic, de Havilland Twin 6318 Romeo. Inbound midfield approach, entering left downwind for touch and go in 3-4. So now traffic. Runway should be right off our nose here somewhere.
Bring this down a little bit. We're cutting throttle back
I'm not seeing
a
the
little
airport.
bit.
I'm not seeing the runway.
Yeah, I see you're ahead of me there.
Is that the runway below me right here? It says I'm crossing over it right now. So I think this is the runway, like right in here. Wow. Doesn't show up very well. Yeah, I'm not really seeing a runway there. It's in the little nav map.
Yeah, it is.
Right to now traffic, de Havilland 63, twin de Havilland 6318 Romeo, entering left downwind for touch and go 3-4. Now.
I'm gonna go across for left downwind. Well, for 3-4.
And looking at the activity feed, I see that message where Linux followed. So I just want to say thank you, Linux, for the follow. And we had the pleasure of meeting Viking Hammer the other night while we had a American Truck Sim session off stream with DH Paradox and Splasher 6 Treetop was there watching us while he was getting his flight sim sorted out. And yeah, got to do some trucking with Viking Hammer, and he followed us as a result. So that's good to see. And to now traffic, Davlin Twin 6318 Romeo left base for touch and go 3-4 now. Okay, we got some flaps. Gonna do another notch of flaps. Gears down, mixtures forward. Now traffic, Davlin Twin 6318 Romeo. Long final for touch and go 3-4 for now. And with traffic in sight.
Yeah, I'm right behind you.
Copper hat's there, looking good, bud. Kind of hard to make out the airfield. I like the lake in the distance, though. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, just starting to see the runway here.
Yeah, I see it now. Boy, they sure put the detail in this scenery. Just amazing.
All right, copper hat. There we go. Woo! There's a little road there at the end. Oh man, Viper! I knew who that was without even looking. Oh, you got me. All right, climbing out, flaps up.
Flaps up to 20. Floorboarded.
You see that little dirt road there at the threshold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was able to roll right across it.
That road.
Yeah. Yeah. Fortunately, there were no cars.
Hey, Viper, welcome in, bud. Welcome to New Zealand. Y'all give Viper Strike a follow there. My shout-out preview isn't working. Let's see here. Here we go. Viper Strike is a longtime friend.
I'm gonna probably pick
now.
what place we're gonna head Sunday.
Nice.
But I believe we're actually going to be heading to a very interesting country. I'm actually planning on heading.
Nice. I'm glad that worked. Viper's a longtime friend of the channel. He specializes in tours. He would do New Zealand justice, man. You know, we're flying around and looking at stuff and looking at the sites, but he would give us, you know, information about the cities, the points of interest. He does a lot of research for his streams, and a great friend of the channel, and a mod. And I gotta say thank you, Viper, for supporting the channel and helping out. It's good stuff. Copperhead's up ahead of us there. All right. I think we got some climbing to do. We're going to be going about 12 nautical miles. Let me see. Is there a destination up there, or is it just a waypoint?
Oh, yeah. That's a waypoint.
A waypoint, yeah. We're heading up towards, what is it called? Wilmot Pass. Okay. So that's on the tour here. Wilmot Pass. Let me pull that website up again. Okay. Here we go. So we took off from Queenstown. Okay. And then we headed on up to Geordie Hill Station, where we met Joe and Matt, the founders of Fly-In, which is this website. They are an airplane tour company in New Zealand, and we're modeling our flight plan after what they do here. And we had some great New Zealand morning coffee with Joe and Matt up there at Geordie Hill Station. And then from there we went up to Wanaka Airport, and now we're heading on down to Milford Sound via Tianu, where we just did a touch and go on that dirt strip. And we're heading to the Wilmot Pass and the Milford Track. I got both of those as waypoints. And we're going to see some of these mountain peaks and fjords and stuff up in here. And our flight plan actually takes us over Quill Lake, which is fast becoming one of my favorite little mountain lakes, because it was featured in Mission Impossible Fallout, where they started that helicopter chase scene, and they dropped Tom Cruise's character tried to drop the payload on top of the other aircraft. That was over Quill Lake. So we'll be flying over that area. And that website I was just sharing with you, let me give you guys a link in chat if you're interested. They have a couple of different tours that they do, and we're following the mountain, what is it called? The Mountain, Island, and Ocean Tour. And we're kind of doing day 1 and day 2. So we might be coming back next Saturday and continuing the tour. And if you're ever in New Zealand, give Fly-In a heads up or whatever, and see if you want an aerial tour, look them up. We're getting into some weather, guys.
We are a little bit of weather.
There's tree off my left wing over there.
Probably banking off course. I am. Of course I am.
And this is Lake Manapuri that we're flying over. And down below me is the south arm of Lake Manapuri. We call that the south arm down there. And straight ahead of us, at the end of Lake Manapuri there up in the hills, is Cleve Garth Falls. And it's right near the pass that we're going to be checking out.
And we did get into some weather.
Yeah. The Viper, what do you got planned for your next stream there, bud? I like to fly in the cockpit, but you know, Tree, I can't help it. I gotta go on the exterior views and see what's out here.
It's so pretty. Oh, the reflection of the mountains and the water. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah, they really did a nice job.
Wow. There's a tree behind me. Oh, that's a cool view right there. Nice. Oh, landing lights are on. Let's get those off. Good, very good. So far, we're having a pretty good experience with the Caribou. One thing that we did run into a little earlier was weight balance, center of gravity, where we weren't really able to adjust the center of gravity and it was out of tolerance. But we discovered that if we hit reset, I just want to share this with folks. You can see the center of gravity, the aft and forward limit are very, very, very tight tolerance right there. We're actually out of limit at the moment. It's very close, but we're out of limit. And the slider here doesn't really help too much in moving this back and forth to center it. Let me see if I can get anything here. There. See now how it drops back there? But now I can't get back to where it was. Right? What we found out was if we hit reset, that kind of brings it back where it needs to be. But it's and then I think we messed with the fuel to get that CG back into tolerance. There it is, back in tolerance at 70%. So I don't know if that is affecting our experience with the flight model characteristics, but just something we stumbled across as we're doing this. All right, we are heading over the Willamette. What is it called? Wilmette. Wilmot Pass. Okay. We are heading over the Wilmot Pass area at the moment. And we're going to be turning towards the north, slightly north east on a heading of like 2 degrees. Yep. And right in front of me, in this area, on this little mountain range in front of me here, is the Cleve Garth Falls. Oh wow, we're getting some soup up here.
And we are.
Yeah, welcome to Wilmot Pass.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh wow, those clouds tucked in like that. So cool. We're doing live weather. This is what we'd be doing if we, what we would see if we were on a tour right now. Nice. I like how those clouds are just tucked into there, in there. Amazing.
Yeah. And Copperhat's ahead of us. That otter's going to go faster than these guys.
So
Okay,
new
let's see
expression was tarn. It's a high mountain lake, and I wonder if this would be an example of a tarn right here that we're seeing.
Oh yeah.
Right? This could be one here too. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know if they have to be a certain size. Maybe it's called a high mountain lake if it's like something of this size, and then if it's smaller, like this one up here, that's a tarn. There's another one right there. These little lakes are all over the place up in here. And that's what that Lake Quill is. Oh, there's something over here too, guys. All kinds of little lakes tucked in here.
Boy, just beautiful. Yeah, here's another one there right off my left wing. Off your right wing.
Yep, there's 2 of you over there. There's 2 more right down there.
Oh yeah, beautiful. Well, I don't know if you can see the ones I see. No, I don't think you can see these, but there's 2 more over here. Actually, 4 more. Wow.
They're all over.
This would be fun bush flying up here.
Right? With the floats?
Yeah, with the floats. I mean, it's only 6,000 feet. It's not super high. High, but not super high.
Wow. Look at all those mountain peaks just going off in the distance over there. That's amazing.
Yeah, that sure is.
Oh yeah, you could definitely land in some of these, definitely.
Yeah, I would think so.
Mm. Coffee's a little cold. I'm gonna go back to that little that cart that was behind us back there, and I'm gonna go grab a fresh cup of coffee. See if I can meander my way back in there without crashing into one of these mountains here. There we go. There's a little cart here. We'll pretend like that's full of coffee. Looks like the pilot operating handbook right there. And let's pour myself a nice big cup of coffee here. There we go. Nice. Uh-oh. Looking out that little window, those mountain peaks are getting kind of close.
Oh, I was
Whoa.
hoping you weren't looking my way and saying, "Uh-oh."
How close did I come? Yeah, kind of close. We're okay. I gotta figure out the autopilot on this thing.
Well, I got her. Don't want to breathe the wrong way. I got her trimmed perfectly here.
Nice.
Just watching the scenery.
Nice.
Amazing. Boy, just beautiful.
So, mount. We have to see if we can find it. I don't think it's on this flight plan that we're on right now. After our stay at Milford, and we'll be heading back towards Wanaka via the Aspiring National Park. Okay, so I don't think that's on this flight plan. I think that's going to be on our next flight plan if we come back here, which I think we will, and we'll fly over the Aspiring National Park, and it says that Mount Aspiring is known as the Matterhorn of the South. So you have a north and a south island. It's known as the Matterhorn of the South, and is flanked by pristine glaciers.
Wow.
So we'll have to see if we can't figure out where that is. Something to look forward to. Now, I remember reading that, and then I'm looking at this mountain up here off my nose to the left. It's kind of rising up above the others. I'm like, ooh, is that it? I better not miss it, but I don't think it is.
Boy, there is all kinds of lakes in here. All kinds. Boy, you could just lake hop one to the next to the next.
Right?
Yeah, we got to come back here. Definitely have to come back here.
Trying to figure out. I want to change my map view. Okay, that's Irene Mountain that we're seeing up ahead of us.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make sure that we weren't missing it. But yeah, that's Irene Mountain. Oh, good. And it looks like Mount Lyall is off to the right over here. If there's a high mountain over there. Kind of hard to tell, but I think it's one of these over here. Yeah, this is Mount Irene. Yeah, it's actually gorgeous up here. Out the window.
Sure is. Amazing. I'm looking at my weather station now. We started the flight at, what did I say, 18 degrees or something like that, 19 degrees. Now we're at 35 degrees.
Oh,
The
wow.
sun comes out, and That's amazing. Oh, a little bit of weather. Wow. Getting bumped around a little bit. Even with this heavy guy.
A little music going here. Hopefully that comes across. Big old long Ford right off my right wing there. Nice.
See the sun reflecting off the water.
That was fun. I'm way off course though.
Boy, these lakes are just, I mean, they're just everywhere. Yeah, this would be really fun bush flying up here. Definitely have to come back here.
Yeah, I see you over there, Tree. Looking good, bud. Oh, Papa Mish is here. He's in his, bet you that's the less sucky A5. Welcome in, Mish.
Oh, welcome in, Mish. Good
Speaking
morning.
of water landings and lakes and tarns.
Mish, we were just talking. We've got to come back here and do a little bush flying. There's just too much water and too many mountain lakes here. And gorgeous scenery.
Right?
You'd be able to catch us easy, Papa Mish. These guys only cruise along at about 150-ish. On some of these peaks, just the snow on them, just gorgeous.
Yeah, I can't get over all these legs. Look at that detail right there.
Tons of detail.
Ooh, we got some snow up ahead. Lake Quill might be covered in ice. Or Quill Lake. See, Mish, how can there be so many high mountain lakes? Did somebody come up here and just dam them all up, right? Like little pockets.
Yeah. Yeah, Mish, we got to come back here. Do some lake hopping.
And while I'm, thinking of Papa Mish, I can't help but think of Papa Mish in the same sentence, think racing. Papa Mish has been learning how to develop scenery with help from various folks, I think from Gruninsky and maybe even Wambi, if I remember right. And Papa Mish has been working on developing many racing courses in high mountain Alps, just like what we're flying over here. And we had the opportunity to beta test his first one, and it was an absolute blast. And sorry, we haven't gotten to your other one that you shared with us. We haven't gotten into that helicopter that Chucky shared with the spray bars. We haven't gotten into testing your next race course. But I mean, challenging, difficult, and fun. Good stuff.
Yes. Well, they're on our list. So, Mish, if you didn't hear earlier, we were talking about Wednesday spraying the cherry trees up there in Washington. The one Gruninsky made. And so we're thinking of that, but then after that, maybe your race course, or in between that, maybe looking at the next race course, because I saw that you sent the link to it. So gotta try that as well.
So many things to do in so little time.
I know it.
It almost looks like there's a structure on this peak I'm about to fly over, but I think it's just my imagination.
Yeah, Mish, I'll have to work on that retired part.
Right? How do you do that? Is there
I know.
Is there a memo that you guys get that, I haven't got yet, or
Yeah.
does it all start when I get the AARP thing in the mail, or I mean, how does that
When
how
you
do
start
do
getting the AARP, you know you're getting close.
right?
It's all these other things that show up on your plate that are all fun, by the way. But now sometimes the day just fills up, and it's like, holy cow!
And speaking of holy cow, we're going over 2 hours right now. Time's just flown by. It just seems like we started not long ago.
Yeah, it does. Well, we'll have to make this next airport maybe our final. What do you think? Or do you want to keep going?
The destination is 20. Okay, so Milford Sound is our next stop, and it's probably about 15 or 20 miles ahead of us. And then the final destination is another 24 miles after that, so it's not too much further, maybe another 20-30 minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
There is a new scenery airport right below Sutherland Falls and Quill Lake called Quinton Lodge, but in the interest of time, we're gonna go ahead and bypass that, but we should be able to see it down below us as we fly over. But there's a lot of snow up here, guys. I don't know what we're in store for.
Yeah, true.
It looks like this big peak in front of me is called Barrier Peak. I think maybe it's this one right over here, because look, it looks kind of like a barrier, like a wall. That might be Barrier Peak right there.
Oh, okay.
If I was to guess.
I see that over there.
Yeah, we got some snow over here.
Definitely. Oh, Amish, I see you right behind me. Looking good. Looking good. That's awesome.
Wow.
You gotta admit, Mish, the scenery's nothing short of amazing. There's just lots to do here. I can't wait to come back here and bush fly a little bit.
So if I'm on the right thinking pattern here, I think right after this little mountain peak in this little hole right here is where Quill Lake is. This looks like the valley that we could fly up after Sutherland Falls, and Quinton Lodge is going to be right down there at the bottom. So theoretically, we should see a larger lake and then a smaller one kind of up above it, like up on a step shelf, and that'll be Quill Lake. This is where that helicopter scene in Mission Impossible was filmed, where they drop that payload over the top of the other helicopter and splashes in the water.
Oh, just beautiful. So we're landing at Milford Sound?
Yes, touch and go. Well, you know, yeah, touch and go. We got to do a touch and go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't want to miss out on that one.
So here's Quill Lake. Those that have, are familiar with the stream and been flying with us in the past may recall that this is the lake that we visited.
Oh yeah.
And then this is Sutherland Falls that comes out of this lake. There's a huge waterfall that cascades down this cliffside all the way down to the bottom, and that's called Sutherland Falls. And then right up ahead up here is a little airport, a little lodge called Quinton Lodge. This might be it right here. There's a little runway there for Quinton Lodge. But look at this. You can see the waterfall kind of coming down right here. Epic.
Epic.
How do they find these locations for these movies? Yeah,
now they probably just use Google Earth.
Right?
Okay, we'll go there. Okay, it looks like 11 is the runway we're going to want to use. And losing some altitude probably is a good idea.
Yeah, it looks like Copperhead's down there.
Yeah, I'm way too high once again. Once again, way too high.
Thanks for the heads up, because now I'm cutting throttles and descending.
Well, there's not a lot of operating room here. Sheesh. Good thing these things fly slow. I'm doing 2 notches of flaps already. Just slow myself down so I can lose the altitude.
It doesn't look like wind is a factor.
Oh, now I got 3. Okay.
I think I'm going to come in on 2.9.
Yeah, no, that's true. You're right.
That way we'll be, it'll kind of put us in the direction we need to go to head up to Big Bay Beach, which is our destination for today. We're going to land on the beach.
Yeah, 11 doesn't give you much room. But when it was up there at 7,000, it was showing the wind blowing from 2.9 at about 9 knots. That's why I originally picked 11. But now I can see as we get down lower, you're right, wind isn't a factor. Space is. Oh yeah, I see the runway there.
There's Papa Mish coming in behind me. Nice.
Okay, I'm just going to cut the side of this mountain here.
Okay, landing lights coming on. Mixture's full forward. Now, what altitude are we at? Yeah, mixture can go full forward. Looking good, Mish. Zoom in here a little bit.
Ooh, this is tight quarters, man. Oh man. I think right around this corner is a little bit of, yeah, this is gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna go way back here. Give myself some room.
I was looking at Mish as a guide. Like, is Mish turning to the left, turning to the right? Am I getting ready to go into a mountainside? And I was getting nervous, and I'm like, I better take a look.
Yeah.
All right. Landing gear's coming down. Landing lights are already on. Give it a notch of flaps. Help me with some stability and control on the way in. How was the landing, Copper Hat?
Okay, now I'm doing a turn.
I'm gonna hug this mountainside over here to the right.
That's what I did.
Come in on a left base here.
Exactly what I did. No, still high. Wow. You're down.
A notch of flaps. There's tree coming in.
Right at 100.
Copper Hat says that landing is a piece of cake.
Oh, man. Still too high.
There's a nice little area down there. It looks like I can turn around in.
Yeah, you have to go back past that.
Yeah.
Get enough room.
Treetop.
Still way too high.
Good for Mish.
Yeah.
Oh. There's Mish. He's right below me. He can cut that puppy hard.
I forgot this was a touch and go, so I stopped.
Oh, okay.
But I'll just taxi down off the runway here. You let you do touch and go, I'll come out right behind you. Came in way too high, just FYI.
All right.
I had
Keep
to
descending in my
really
turn
push
here.
it. Yeah, I had to push it.
Oh, wow. This is interesting.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay, gears down. Flaps are
Comes
set.
top of Mish.
3 in the green.
Looking good, Mish.
That runway's kind of hidden in the shadow there.
Yep.
Hayward, welcome in. Yeah, it's going good. Yeah, enjoying New Zealand and taking the Caribou, de Havilland Caribou, out for a spin. But where is that runway? Oh my God.
You're right on it. It's right below you. You're right on it. Got to push her down. You're going to fly right over the top of it. You just flew over the top of me.
I did not really have a visual on that runway. Go around.
I'm going to hold short. So
Did that
I
hit
can
that little
be trying to
black
watch.
slab?
Yeah.
Wow.
This will be fun. I'm going to hold short of 2.9 here so I can watch.
Is your guys' all covered up like that? You know, with trees and stuff? Was it just a narrow black slab?
Okay, I'm stopped here, so I'm just going to hold short and I'm going to watch your feed. See what you're seeing.
Okay, I gotta turn around again. This
Okay,
poor,
brakes on.
this poor,
Let's look. Let's see what you're doing.
this poor cruise ship is stuck in the ice,
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
right? Alright, here we go. Turn around.
Okay, yeah, that should be all white right there.
Lots of trees and a bunch of them right at the end of the runway. Also, okay. Okay, we're welcome in, bud. Good to see you. Yeah, we're taking the Caribou out for a spin here in New Zealand, checking out the new scenery, and modeled my flight plan after Fly In. It's a airplane tour company here in New Zealand, and I've been given links to their website, and kind of they have like a 12-day excursion, and based on the description, I was able to kind of develop a flight plan, which is kind of fun. And Milford Sound is one of the highlights. If I can put her down here. Okay, there's something right there. Boy, that is just such a narrow strip. I don't know.
There you are. There you are. Okay.
Boy, that,
Yep.
That does not look like a runway.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. There you go.
Really?
100 feet. 100 feet. There you go.
Oh, come on.
Full flaps gear.
Oh my god.
Flare.
Oh my god. Go around. Go around. I can't do it. What the heck?
You got plenty of space on this side. Do one more try from this side.
Man.
Just like you did last time. Hug the side of that mountain. Past that mountain, there's a big area there enough to turn around. Give you a nice approach into 29.
Go around. Gear and flaps are up. That might have been a highway with the runway 100 feet to the right. All right.
Right, yeah, there is a highway right next to the
Wow.
runway.
You think anybody's accidentally landed on the highway?
Probably. Okay, you're nice and low. 800 feet there. Beautiful. Okay, 1,000 feet. You can see me there.
All right, gears coming down.
Coming to view. Gear down, flaps down. Yeah, there you go.
Flaps coming down. Okay, a wing and a prayer. Thank you, Mish. Boy, this does not look like a
you're
runway to
lined
me.
up. Yep, there it is. Oh, that was the highway.
Oh no! Oh my god!
That was
All
the
right.
highway.
Oh no! Oh! Hey, I'm in. Hey, look where I ended up, guys.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Oh,
you planned
my
that
God.
the whole time. Yep, perfect.
Oh, tears in my eyes. Okay, I gotta add myself to the Rip Club here. Holy chingoli.
That was great.
I have a King Cobra on there from last time. There we go. Man. I got tears in my eyes. What the heck? Is this how this airport looks for you guys?
Well, we're over on the runway side.
I'm in GA parking. I mean, yeah,
Oh
so
yeah,
funny.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, actually, that's pretty close down to the other end there.
How do I get back over to the runway? Where is the runway? There's a helicopter.
It's where GA parking is. There's a taxiway just past that to go down to 29.
Okay, guys, I'm still not seeing the runway.
Right.
Is it? All the buildings are?
No, we don't have buildings there. I don't know why that.
Oh,
No, no, there's one on the right hand side of that picture. On the right hand side. So go to the right a little bit. Right a little bit more.
yeah, but look, Tree. So I'm waiting for the stream to catch up. You see the threshold lines?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
And there's 2.9 right there.
Why does yours have that?
I don't
We
know.
don't have trees there.
I think I have a
Yeah,
Milford Sound scenery. I don't know if it's conflicting with the Osobos, maybe?
Yeah, that's. Yeah, you didn't. No wonder you were having such a hard time.
Right? That's
and no
the
wonder
runway.
you went to the highway. Yeah, that is the runway. Wow, why is yours different? And you loaded New Zealand.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Son of a gun, I don't get that.
Yeah, I think I have a scenery conflict, because I think I do have Milford Sound as a scenery.
Oh,
So I got some
that's-
kind of conflict going on, I think.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay,
That has to be it.
now where are you guys at? I see Copper Hat and Tree, your guys are over here. Is that a runway that you're on?
Yeah, I'm holding short of 2.9.
Oh,
Right.
weird.
So 90 degrees, 100 feet and 90 degrees, and I'm taking off on 2.9.
Okay. All right, so let me get
I'm
down here and I'll take off.
I'll
too.
be right back. Just
Okay.
take a second.
All right. Bio break. Oh, good call, Mish. Thank you. Thank you. I'll take you up on that. I can't believe I ended up in the parking right where the guy was standing saying. So there's two Garys. Let me get back in the cockpit here. Yeah, there was a Gary that was standing there already as I came to a stop, and then as I was slowing down and stopping, a second Gary that is supposed to be parking me popped in, But the first Gary was like right there, and I was like heading in. It was classic. There, yeah, this guy right here. He was already there, and I stopped right here, and then this guy popped in. Oh, he's the guy with the towing tug thing.
Well, now we know why you're confused.
Oh yeah, man, I was like, what the heck? All right, so let me get taxied over. Brake is off. Pull forward. Da 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 da. Pardon me, guys.
Flaps 20.
I think the runway is over here.
You look at my name tag. I'm gonna line up on 2.9 for.
Yeah, but my runway's
Figure it out.
different, so I'm gonna.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can't get over that. I can't get over that fence. Let me. I'm gonna slew over this thing. That should be the runway right there. Hey, pardon me. Excuse me, everybody. Yeah, just go back to mowing your lawn and doing whatever you guys are doing here. Mowing your asphalt. Oh, these houses are not going to let me take off.
Yeah.
All right.
And by the way, you don't have to be on RIP because that's not your fault.
Yeah, that's
Block,
what Mish said. So I took myself off.
Yeah, you have no. Yeah. You had no way to know.
Let me. Is there any ice here? Maybe I can take off from here.
Yeah, I just pick a spot with that conflict.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to put that.
Let's see if I can take off from here.
All right, I'm gonna do straight out departure here. I got flaps 20. So let me get that map going here. Oh yeah, straight out departure, turn to the right. All right, here goes nothing or something.
Oh, my engine died. All right, here we go. People are going, what's this guy Foxtrot doing taking off over there?
Positive rate.
Ditto.
You're up.
Nice.
And laps.
Trying to see if I can
Go
make this
up.
turn.
Get a little airspeed.
All right, Big Bay Beach. Here we come.
There's that cruise ship still in the same spot. Boy, how cool it is here. Yeah, we got to spend some time over here.
I'd like to say it was nice Milford Sound, but wow.
Yeah, you had an experience.
Looking good, Mish. And Con Man in the 172 down there.
I'm running about 1500 FPM. Flying up that little gorge there. Get some altitude, and then now I'm making my turn.
Yeah, to get back on the flight plan. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing right behind you. All right.
I have to say, this has been a fun morning. This scenery's stellar. Sorry about the Milford Bay, but we all had a good experience. I mean, it was fun to line up with that runway, and when the scenery's working, it was like spot on the money. Although I came in too high too fast. Yeah, you're right, Mish.
Right? It did.
Wow, it's just beautiful. Oh, I hit a downdraft or something.
I'm actually enjoying this plane. There's a lot to learn on it. I'm looking forward to doing some VOR navigation in it. It'd be kind of fun to do a trip like we did with the Spruce Goose, where we go cross country.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. And she does trim out pretty good. You can keep tweaking it till she's flying the way you want.
I don't know if Porter's going to be doing an Oshkosh event anytime soon, but I'll have to do a little bit of practice and stuff in this plane, and figure out the VOR navigation and stuff. But this could be a fun plane to take to Oshkosh if he does another event.
Agreed.
Oh, nice, Mish. All right, tides permitting, we're going to be able to land on that beach.
Trim action. Don't need to go any higher, that's for sure. One small mountain range. Looks like that guy, Phoenix 911, over kind of where we want to go. Don't know if he's far enough though, maybe.
Yeah, I'm looking at little nav map. There's a Martins Bay airport, and I'm wondering if he's there.
He might be in Martins Bay, I bet.
All right, I'm gonna start doglegging over towards the coastline, so that we're kind of set up for our beach landing here.
Oh, okay.
Nice, getting out of the mountains. Wow.
Definitely don't need to climb anymore. Plenty of altitude.
All right, so tides permitting, if we're able to land on the beach here at Big Bay Beach airstrip, we're going to be able to head on over to Elsie's, the little restaurant, and we're going to try her date loaf.
Perfect. Oh, I see part of this bay is froze over. Wow, it's so cool to see that. Okay, I see Martins Bay Airport. From there, just to tuck around this mountain, we gotta lose some altitude. 5,000 feet isn't gonna cut it. Not going to cut it. Keep it descent about 1,500.
Oh, pretty cool.
I see beach.
Yeah, so I think that is Martins Bay.
Right.
And then there's another beach just to the north of it. There's a little kind of a rocky peninsula, or a little peninsula that sticks out, and then there's another bay, and that's Big Bay. That's where we're going to be heading.
Right. Thank you. I'm just trying to decide what I'd like to do here. There's all kinds of approach choices, and I'm thinking going through the little canyon here might be kind of fun. After the mountain, we'll see here. But I've already missed that, so yeah. That was that one, okay. That would have taken me over there, okay. I already missed that. Now slowing down is probably a good thing here.
I think I'm gonna try coming in from the ocean, and then from the west of side of the bay, the southwest side of the bay, where that little peninsula is, and I'm gonna follow that little peninsula in and kind of follow it around to the beach, and then see if that'll line me up for an approach here.
Okay, and you're gonna go for 25 probably, I'm guessing.
Yep.
I think that's 25.
Yep. Got a 3-knot, slightly crosswind from the tail, so I don't think that's going to be too much of a factor.
No, I'm getting 5 over here, but that's not. Well, it's gusting a little bit, but not too bad. Okay, there we are. 120. All right, now I am gonna be right. Oh boy, that is. How cool is this? Is this scenery?
Are you getting? Let me know if you're getting ready to land. I'll get the drone camera over there.
Okay.
Are you on?
Cruising along here at 120.
Are you on extended final or anything?
We'll be short. I'm more like a kind of like a base, a little bit of a base to 3.5, 2.5, excuse me. 2.5, now 2.5. All right, 110, nothing down yet. This thing slows down really quick. So I'm just gonna stay close to those mountains there. Now I'm coming in from the ocean like you're gonna do. And I'll be on a final here shortly.
Okay, I'll have to pause my sim and get the drone camera going. So let me get that set up. Pausing. Drone camera. Is that Mish? Yep. Okay, speed that puppy up.
Okay. Oh wow, just picked up some snow here, but not on the beach. That's good. Yeah, there's a rocky shoreline there. And all right, a little flap action. 20 degrees. Pushes my nose up. Gear down. Gears down. A little more flap.
So is the tide in our favor? Is the beach exposed there?
Beach exposed.
Nice.
But we're going to be right next to the water here.
Yeah, that's the landing area right ahead of us there.
Oh yeah, a tailwind of 10 knots. Yikes, stripes.
All right, good luck, Tree.
Too high, too fast.
I'm just coming out of my little Airbnb shack here on the front porch here, and I hear some air traffic coming in, and here we go. Go arounds are approved if you need it. Nice. Welcome to Big Bay Beach.
Yeah.
There comes Copperhead. And get back to my little cabin here.
Oh, just short of the water too. I'll get out of the way.
There's my little cabin. Looking good, Copperhead. Mish, I don't see you.
I see him.
Do you? Okay. Just want to make sure I don't miss his landing.
He's coming right in the same way I did.
Okay.
I think I had one bounce. Too high. Boy, this thing's deceiving. You think you're just right. Next thing you know.
Oh man, looking good. Little deceiving, huh?
Yeah. Boy, Mish and Copperhead have it.
Kind of doing a landing at the same time. Copperhead's down. Mish is touching down right here on the beach. Nice, Mish. Tree should be right over there, looking good.
Yeah, well, I'm shut my engine down. I'm parked.
Copperhead's taxiing by in the Twin Otter. Oh, that's a cool livery too. I like it. Nice.
Wow, this is interesting on this guy. So you're not plugged into shore power, and you shut the engines down. Guess what doesn't work? Flaps.
Oh no.
Yeah, which it should be.
Right?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, of course. Okay, yeah. You find me in there okay? Coming in. It's gonna follow this coastline. Gonna hug the beach and hopefully be set up for an approach.
But it is the one nice thing about, it's kind of a big aircraft, but it flies so slow that if you are high, you can kind of push it a little bit and drop and not have a ton of airspeed, especially with those flaps down.
Right?
Because if he's watching my landing, I floated for a long time. Not a ton of room here.
Big Bay traffic, de Havilland Twin, 6318 Romeo. Inbound out of the west, about 2 miles. Full stop. 2-2, I think we said. Big Bay.
2-5.
2-5, Big Bay.
Yeah, Larry, Big Bay is where we landed. Tide was out just enough to let us land here. K-Wort has a message for you there, Flox.
Yeah, I mentioned, yeah. I said,
Okay.
Of course. Yep.
Okay, I didn't know if you saw that, or maybe I missed it.
Okay, let's get my airspeed down.
Oh, there's a little cabin right there.
Yeah, there's like these little
Oh my
Airbnb cabin things.
Yeah. Well, with these things, we brought enough supplies to last you for a month.
Gears coming down. And let's get in a notch of flaps. Nice. Yeah, this is a cool spot.
Yeah, it is.
Get yourself another bunch of flaps.
Yeah, I came in at least 1,000 feet above where you are right there.
Oh,
That's-
really?
Yeah, I was way too high still.
So far, so good.
Looking good.
Boy, that is kind of washed out. That your depth perceptions can be a little off.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Nice one.
Hey guys.
Nice.
Flaps up.
Yeah, take them up before you kill the engine, that's for sure. There, looking super duper.
Parking brake is set. Fill the mixture. Nice. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Lights off. Master avionics off. And let's get a little picture with everybody. Don't see Mish at the moment. Probably should see, it looks like a beach here, so let's get a view with the water.
Oh, that's looking nice.
Okay. Got it. All right, nice. Okay, so yeah, Larry, I think Tree answered your question that we're at Big Bay, NZQU. Big Bay Beach Strip is where we ended up, and it's our destination for night. Yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe continuing this this theme here, and following this flight plan, this tour agency's flight plan. I think it's pretty interesting. Would have never thought of landing on this beach. Never would have known it existed if I didn't do that little bit of research there. So good stuff.
Yes, thank you for setting this whole thing up. It's been a really fun morning, and
Nice.
to be able to see all this has just been fabulous. So, many thanks.
My pleasure, man. Copperhat, thanks for flying along with us. Papa Mish, thanks for jumping in the less sucky Icon A5 and joining us. Good stuff. And let's see, Viper Stike was in here with us a little earlier. He did jump scare me, and he did get me. Linux with a follow. Yeah, good stuff, man. So yeah, let's look for somebody to raid, and we'll catch you guys Wednesday night. Hey Tree, thanks for being a great co-host, a great friend, and a great in real life next door neighbor, bud.
Thank you, Flux. Right back at you. Lots of fun. Thanks for all the work, and again, it's a great morning.
Awesome. All right. See you in the skies.
Venus guys.
Thank you.